Hi, I'm John Steele from Softeon. In this week's Logistics Insights podcast, part 2 of our look at distributed order management. We'll discuss that interesting topic in just a second.
This podcast is brought to you by Softeon, providing innovative solutions for warehouse management, warehouse execution, and distributed order management. Softeon, delivering supply chain success every time.
In our last episode of the Logistics Insights podcast, we introduced a solution called Distributed Order Management, or DOM, a type of software similar to, but different from, traditional order management systems. Increasingly important in omnichannel retail, but also in a variety of B2B use cases, DOM is still not well known. In fact, a few years back, CSCMP's prestigious Supply Chain Quarterly publication ran an article written by Softeon titled Distributed Order Management, the most important supply chain software application you probably never heard of. That about sums things up. As we discussed last time, the fundamental problem DOM solves, whether in retail or B2B, is this: dynamically selecting the optimal sourcing location, generally meaning the lowest cost for each and every order, which will meet customer service commitments while considering network capacities and constraints. It does this in part based on granular, real-time visibility to inventory across an extended network, often including 3PL facilities, vendors, distributors, and more. But what does all that really mean? Well, let's look at some constraints that might need to be considered by DOM in making its sourcing decision. Inventory availability is a good place to start. If the lowest cost node in terms of shipping doesn't have some of the inventory needed for an order, a more expensive node may be the right choice. But what if the needed inventory is expected to arrive the next day? Can that work? Or does the delivery commitment made to the customer mean you can't wait another day? The beauty of DOM is that it is based on a powerful user-configurable rules engine, where all this business and fulfillment logic is easily set up without programming. Let's look at another example in the retail sector. While many retailers are or would like to fulfill online orders from their stores, capacity is usually dynamic, based on what staff showed up today and the level of customer traffic. With DOM, the system can keep track not only of the capacity of each store each day, but how well that theoretic capacity is being used. For example, if the presumed capacity is 50 orders on a given day, and that's how many DOM sends to a specific store, if halfway through the day only 10 orders have been shipped, the DOM might be configured to automatically move 20 or 30 orders to another store or distribution center. There's more. We often call DOM sort of a Swiss Army knife of supply chain execution. Capabilities beyond what we have already discussed include support for vendor drop shipping, managing inventory allocations by sales channel, management of subscription orders, support for sales and operations planning processes by tracking channel orders versus allocation. There's actually still quite a bit more, including Softeon's unique simulation tool to evaluate the impact of changing current rules. But we'll wrap up the podcast here. We've covered a lot of ground again in this Logistics Insights podcast, looking at distributed order management. To learn more, visit Softeon.com, where the resources include an excellent ebook available under the Resources tab. For Softeon, this is John Steele. Thanks for listening.